New numbers on the governor's race just arriving. These are actual votes now. These are not exit poll numbers or anything of the like. 25% of the precincts have been counted. Jesse Ventura, 37% of the vote. Norm Coleman and Skip Humphrey tied at 31. William Wilcoxen out at Canterbury Park. The Ventura people must be going wild about this time.
That's exactly right, Gary. The people came here, I think, ready to celebrate the Ventura campaign, and now they're gearing up to try to celebrate a victory. People have been saying that, the campaign in itself helped put the third-party movement back on the map and helped break a lot of the barriers that face third parties, and that Jesse had done a lot to reach voters. But now there really is a feeling that people are tasting victory. The chant here has changed from Jesse, Jesse to landslide, landslide. Everybody's got their retaliated 98 shirts, the balloons, and of course it's pretty raucous. There was a big buffet, a lot of people doing a little drinking and partying, and they're just really psyched up about Jesse. Jesse's dressed in a suit and tie today, so I'm not sure if that has any implications about what he was expecting when he came here tonight. But he just a little while ago said he wasn't ready to celebrate any victory or declare anything until more of the votes were counted. So we're just kind of waiting, but Jesse's going to take the stage here pretty soon for the benefit of the media and those gathered here. So they're getting ready for that, and the crowd is certainly boisterous.
Okay, William, before you run there, can you give us a sense, the age group? Ventura had made a real point of trying to appeal to young people. Are most of the people at the party young, or is it pretty broad cross-section?
No, it really is pretty broad cross-section. Yeah, there are some young people here, but there's senior citizens here too, and a real gamut.
William Wilcoxen is out at Canterbury Park. William, I imagine things are kind of lively right now. Jesse Ventura headquarters.
They're very enthusiastic here. It's a little bit like the seas. It tends to swell, and then there's a lull. The pattern generally is people will see new numbers on the TV screens, and they'll burst into cheer, and they'll start to call for Jesse. But he hasn't been out here in more than an hour now. He had indicated at one point he'd be coming out every hour to talk to his supporters, but he's been hunkered down in his war room for a little more than an hour now. People are pretty restless, as you might expect, and they're just kind of waiting and being enthusiastic.
Sounds like they're having quite a party.
They're giving it a go.
Well, keep us posted, William. William Wilcoxen out at Canterbury Park, where the Ventura supporters have gathered. Well, I bet William Wilcoxen is in the midst of a maelstrom now. And William, you with us there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I imagine that information that the TV stations have declared Jesse a winner have further invigorated an already invigorated crowd.
It's bordering on bedlam here, especially when those TV numbers went up. And actually, in fact, crowd control is becoming more and more of a factor here. Some people have already been thrown out of Canterbury Park here. People were they were starting to, I guess they call it body surfing, where the crowd has gotten such that you can't really move around the room here. And so people were being handed around, but the campaign officials tried to put a stop to that. They're trying valiantly to keep the crowd under control. And at one point, to calm people down, they promised that May Shunk would come out in a few minutes to speak to them because they were clamoring for somebody. But she still hasn't come out, and people are still going crazy, and there's more police on hand, and we're just kind of waiting for Jesse to come out.
Not your typical election night party by the wildest stretch.
We were kind of wondering if anybody else has been kicked out for body surfing at any other campaign parties.
Again, our crack research team will look into that. They're also researching the Gagne question. Keep your head down there, William, or head up, I guess is the case is, and keep us posted.
Will do.
Let's go back out to Canterbury Park, where Jesse Ventura is at the podium.
Well, Gary, Jesse Ventura is trying to calm the crowd here.
If you will, we have to go national on NBC right now. We'll do NBC, and we'll be right back up here, but please make a hole and behave. Make a hole.
Unlike pretty much any kind of party like this that I've observed, William is still with us. He's still alive out there?
No, I'm in my foxhole, and I've kind of hunkered down here. I've given up on trying to leave, and they're trying to get all the appropriate people on stage right now for the presumably for the victory speech here. And as I say, crowd management has become more and more of an issue here as the night wears on. The numbers really do seem to have grown. Apparently, as Jesse's supporters heard the news, more and more of them have come out here to Canterbury Park, and of course, there's been a core group that's been here all along and has indulged in the buffet. But I think
60% of the vote is now in. Jesse Ventura with 37% of the ballots counted. Norm Coleman, the Republican, 34%. Skip Humphrey, 28%. He is the DFL candidate. 60% in. Jesse Ventura with 37%. William, it is just rowdy, is it not? I mean, it's not dangerous or anything.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was a moment when, especially when they had those body surfers, that they realized they needed to try to clamp down a little more, and there are more police up here now, so it doesn't really seem to be dangerous. But you might compare it to when the Twins won the World Series. There's this feeling that the crowd is just barely in control with their enthusiasm, and people really do seem to be fired up. As I say, they're trying to get family members up to the stage now. May Shunk is glad-handing with people, and a lot of national media are on hand, and this, of course, has become a pretty big story. We're still kind of waiting here.
I suppose Jesse can handle his own security. Yeah. Doesn't really need a bouncer or anything.
I don't think he's going to have any trouble getting through here. He likes to talk about the 34 planes he's jumped out of, so I think he can manage this crowd himself. It seems to be some of the younger members of the family, and May Shunk, who is making her way up to the stage now. And she talked earlier about her second grade class asking how to spell Jesse and Ventura, and her helping them sound it out. And the crowd seemed to enjoy some of those stories. As I say again, we may be waiting for the media as much as anything else. I think he's doing some TV interviews right now.
Right. I think he mentioned he was going to be on NBC, the national network, and I imagine Jesse Ventura is going to be in demand for a whole raft of interviews. Let's go back to Canterbury Park, where William Wilcoxen his head is above out of the foxhole. William, I understand Jesse's about to go to the podium.
Yeah, he's up there now. They were actually quiet for a while they did a couple of interviews, and they put him on the overhead audio system, so people quieted down a little to hear some of what he had to say. He's finished with that, and now he's standing at the podium and just kind of basking in the moment, I think, and wiping his brow, shaking his head, and looks like he gives a little chuckle and looks at his supporters, and I think he's about ready to begin.
Here is the next governor of the state of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura.
Thank you. First of all, and I say, hold it down if we can for a minute, and I say this very sincere, thank you. Thank you for renewing my faith that the American dream still lives